Some minds don't skim the surface. They dive deep. They don't accept the first answer, the easy explanation, or the popular opinion. They question, analyze, and reflect until they find something true. To some, they might seem complicated or slow to respond, but they're not slow, they're thorough. These are the deep thinkers, and there is a psychology behind the way they see the world. Research in cognitive psychology suggests that deep thinkers have what's called high need for cognition, a tendency to engage in and enjoy effortful thinking. Their brains don't settle for simple. They crave complexity, meaning, and understanding. Where others see a situation, they see layers. Where others hear words, they hear subtext. Their mind is always working, always processing, always connecting dots that others don't even see. And while this depth gives them insight, it also gives them weight. Because thinking deeply means feeling deeply. Every experience leaves an imprint. Every conversation echoes for days. Every injustice, every beauty, every paradox, it all stays with them. They don't move on quickly. They can't. Their mind won't let them. But here's the interesting part. Deep thinkers are often misunderstood. People accuse them of overthinking, of being too serious, of complicating things that should be simple. But to a deep thinker, nothing is as simple as it seems. They see the cause behind the effect, the emotion behind the words, the pattern behind the behavior. And once you see that much, you can't unsee it. I remember the first time someone told me I think too much, as if thinking were something to apologize for, as if depth were a flaw instead of a gift. But over time, I realized something. My mind wasn't broken, it was just built differently. I wasn't overthinking, I was understanding. And that understanding, even when it hurt, gave me clarity others didn't have. That's when I stopped apologizing for the way I think. Deep thinkers share certain traits that set them apart. First, these people value meaning over speed. They won't rush to conclusions just to have an answer. They would rather sit with uncertainty than settle for something shallow. They ask why more than most people are comfortable with.
Secondly, they see connections everywhere. A song reminds them of a conversation. A conversation reminds them of a memory. A memory sparks a realization about human nature. Their mind is a web of associations, always linking, always expanding. Thirdly, they feel emotions intensely. Joy is not just happiness, it's awe. Sadness is not just disappointment, it's grief. Anger is not just frustration, it's injustice. Every emotion comes with depth, with context, with layers they have to process. Fourth, they always need time alone. Not because they dislike people, but because their mind needs space to sort through everything it's absorbed. Socializing for them is not just talking. It's processing tone, intent, energy, meaning, all at once. And that's exhausting. So they retreat, not to avoid the world, but to understand it. Scientific studies show that people who think deeply often score high in openness to experience, creativity, and existential awareness. They're philosophers at heart, even if they never studied philosophy. They think about life, death, purpose, connection, truth, the big questions that most people avoid. But sometimes this gift feels like a burden. Because deep thinking comes with deep struggle. They see problems others don't notice. They feel pain others overlook. They carry questions that have no easy answers. They can be in a room full of people and still feel completely alone, because no one else is thinking about the things they're thinking about. They long for conversations that go beneath the surface. For people who don't just talk, they reflect. But those people are rare. So they learn to live in their own mind. And sometimes that mind feels like both a sanctuary and a prison. If you're a deep thinker, you know what I'm talking about. You've probably been told you're in your head too much, that you should just relax or not take things so seriously. But you can't turn off your mind. You can't unsee the patterns. You can't unfeel the weight of what you understand. And maybe you've wondered if something is wrong with you. Maybe you've wished you could think like everyone else, lighter, simpler, easier. But here's the truth. Your depth is not a flaw. It's your superpower. Yes, you feel more pain, but you also feel more beauty. Yes, you see more problems, but you also see more solutions.
Yes, you carry more weight, but you also carry more wisdom. The world needs people like you, people who don't accept things at face value, people who ask the hard questions, people who search for truth even when it's uncomfortable. Because shallow thinking creates shallow solutions, and the problems we face today, personally, socially, globally, require depth. Let's go deeper into the psychology of deep thinkers. Number 1, they have active default mode networks. Neuroscience shows that deep thinkers have highly active default mode networks, the part of the brain that's engaged during introspection, daydreaming, and self-reflection. While others' minds go quiet during rest, theirs go deeper. They think about the past, the future, hypotheticals, meanings. Their mind is never truly at rest. Second, they experience existential awareness early. Many deep thinkers recall being children and thinking about death, infinity, the meaning of life. While other kids played without question, they questioned everything. This early awareness shaped how they see the world, with wonder, but also with weight. Third, they struggle with small talk, not because they're rude, but because surface-level conversation feels empty to them. They want to know what you think, what you fear, what you dream about. They want substance. And when conversation stays shallow, they disengage, not outwardly, but internally. Fourth, they are often misunderstood as pessimistic. Because they see what's beneath the surface, they notice flaws, contradictions, and problems. But they're not pessimists, they're realists with depth. They don't ignore the darkness, they try to understand it so they can find the light. These people need purpose. Deep thinkers can't do things just because. They need to know why something matters. A job without meaning drains them. A relationship without depth bores them. A life without purpose terrifies them. They're driven not by success, but by significance. But here's the paradox. Deep thinkers often feel like they're too much and not enough at the same time. Too intense for casual friendships, not outgoing enough for social settings. Too sensitive for the harsh world, not tough enough to ignore it. Too thoughtful for quick decisions, not spontaneous enough to just go with the flow. And in that paradox, they can feel lost.
But the truth is, they're not lost. They're just searching for a world that matches their depth. And when they find people who think like them, people who value meaning, who ask real questions, who aren't afraid of depth, everything changes. Those connections become lifelines because finally, they're not too much. They're exactly enough. I want to speak directly to you now. If you're a deep thinker, I know your mind can feel like a lot sometimes. I know you replay conversations, analyze interactions, question your own thoughts. I know you feel things other people seem to brush off. I know you see things others miss. And I know that sometimes you just want your brain to be quiet. But here's what I also know. Your mind is a gift. Yes, it's heavy sometimes. Yes, it's exhausting sometimes. Yes, it makes life more complicated sometimes. But it also makes life more meaningful. You don't just exist, you examine existence. You don't just feel, you understand feelings. You don't just experience life, you extract wisdom from it. And that is rare. Most people go through life on autopilot. They follow scripts, accept norms, avoid discomfort. But you question the script. You challenge the norms. You sit with discomfort until it teaches you something. That takes courage. So stop apologizing for how much you think. Stop shrinking your depth to make others comfortable. The right people will not be intimidated by your mind. They will be fascinated by it. The right places will not drain your energy. They will inspire your thoughts. The right life will not ask you to think less. It will give you something worth thinking about. And until you find that, keep thinking, keep questioning, keep diving deep, because the world doesn't need more surface-level thinkers. It needs people like you, people who are willing to go beneath, to search for truth, to sit with complexity. Your depth is not a burden to carry. It's a lens to see through. And what you see, what you understand, what you create from that understanding, that's your contribution to the world. So keep thinking deeply, keep feeling fully, keep searching for meaning. Because the deep thinkers are the ones who change the world, one insight, one question, one truth at a time.